The breaking point. Commander Elena Reyes stood motionless on the observation deck of Earth's orbital defense station Epsilon, her eyes fixed on the holographic display showing the aftermath of destruction. The mining colony on Proxima Centauri, humanity's first extrasolar settlement, was gone. All that remained were scattered debris fields and emergency beacons blinking hopelessly into the void. 2,000 colonists. Gone. Initial reports confirm it was the Draken war fleet, Lieutenant Jackson said, his voice tight with controlled anger. They claimed they mistook our colony for a military installation. Elena's jaw clenched. The Draken Imperium knew exactly what they had destroyed. This wasn't the first mistake aliens had made at humanity's expense, but it would be the last. The Galactic Council is convening an emergency session, Jackson continued. They're sending their deepest regrets and promising a thorough investigation. Like the last 17 investigations, Elena's voice was cold steel. How many ended with actual consequences for anyone but us? The Galactic Council, an alliance of 37 spacefaring civilizations, had welcomed humanity with grand speeches about cooperation and shared prosperity 40 years ago, when Earth's first interstellar probe had accidentally encountered a Centauri survey vessel. The reality had been far different. Human technology was deemed primitive, human concerns provincial, and human territories negotiable, while ancient species like the Centauri, Draken, and Volari controlled vast swaths of the galaxy. Humans were confined to their solar system and a handful of nearby stars, treated as upstarts who should be grateful for whatever scraps fell from the Council's table. Elena's comm unit beeped. A secure message from Earth Command. Anticore protocolo activated. Retur and immediate. Her heart raced. Anchor protocol. After decades of humiliation, Earth had finally had enough. Set course for Earth, she ordered. Maximum speed. The journey back to Earth was tense. Elena spent most of it reviewing data files in her quarters, reports of previous incidents, diplomatic communications that led nowhere, statistics on human losses due to alien negligence or outright hostility. The pattern was painfully clear. When the Centauri had accidentally harvested resources from an asteroid belt designated for human development, the Council had issued a mild reprimand. When Volari merchants had stolen classified human technology, the case had been dismissed for lack of evidence. When the Draken had restricted human colonial expansion under false pretenses, the Council had sided with the Draken. The shuttle approached Earth, the blue-green planet growing larger in the viewports. From orbit, Elena could see the massive atmospheric processors working to repair the damage from the Haxon incident 30 years ago, when an alien ship had crashed into Antarctica, nearly triggering a new ice age. That disaster had prompted humanity to join the galactic community, but not as equals. Never as equals. The shuttle landed at the Geneva spaceport, where a transport was already waiting. Within minutes, Elena was speeding toward the underground complex that housed Earth's Defense Council. Guards checked her credentials and escorted her through layers of security. Admiral Chen met her in the antechamber, his expression grim but determined. "Commander Reyes," he acknowledged with a nod. "You witnessed the Proxima attack." "I saw the aftermath, sir. No survivors." Chen's expression hardened. "The Draken ambassador has sent another communication. They regret the unfortunate incident and suggest that perhaps our colony's defensive measures were mistaken for weapons installations." Elena felt her anger rising again. "That's absolutely false. Proxima was a civilian mining operation. We have the records. We all know that." Chen cut her off. "That's why we're here today." He gestured toward heavy doors leading to the council chamber. "For 40 years, we've played by their rules. We've been patient. We've been diplomatic. We've swallowed our pride while they treated us like children." He paused, meeting her eyes. "That ends today." The doors swung open, revealing a circular room filled with Earth's highest military and political leaders. The mood was solemn but charged with energy. Alina noticed several stations around the table displayed technical schematics she didn't recognize, weapon systems perhaps, or defensive technologies that had been kept secret. "What you're about to hear doesn't leave this room," Chen told her as they entered. "But I wanted you here. You've seen firsthand what their arrogance has cost us." As they took their seats, the council chairperson, Director Quan, stood. The room fell silent. "Today," she announced, "we implement Operation Revelation. May history remember that we tried patience first." The massive screen at the front of the chamber activated, showing a secure feed from a location Alina didn't recognize. The image revealed an enormous underground facility, stretching for kilometers. Within it stood hundreds of ships, advanced warships lined up in perfect rows, their hulls gleaming under harsh lights. "Luna shipyards," Chen explained quietly. "One of 17 such facilities we've built throughout the solar system over the past 25 years. Alina stared in disbelief. None of these vessels appeared in any registry shared with the Galactic Council. None of them officially existed. While presenting ourselves as struggling with basic spacefaring technology, Director Quan continued, "We have been building the most advanced fleet in the sector. The Prometheus drive, quantum shielding, gravity manipulation technology, all developments we've kept hidden while facing the Council's condescension." Another screen activated, showing orbital platforms surrounding Earth and its colonies. "Project Aegis," said a scientist Alina didn't recognize, "a planetary shield system that can be deployed within hours. Technology the Council believes is centuries beyond human capability." "And the piece de resistance," Chen added, his voice tight with controlled pride. He nodded to a technician, who brought up schematics for what appeared to be a propulsion system. "The Nexus drive. It can traverse the distance between Earth and Proxima Centauri in under 6 hours instead of the standard 4 months." Alina's mind reeled. Humanity had been playing weak while building strength. The aliens believed humans lacked certain technical capabilities, a misconception carefully cultivated through misinformation and staged failures. When human scientists had developed quantum shielding, they had publicly announced a failed attempt at basic deflector technology. When the Prometheus drive was first tested, they had disguised it as an explosion in a remote research facility. Each time humans made a leap forward, they hid it behind a facade of struggles and setbacks. "The deception has served its purpose," Quan said, addressing the entire chamber. "But now it's time to show our true capabilities." Admiral Chen called up footage from the Proxima Centauri attack on a secondary screen. The colony's final moments played out silently, the Draken warships opening fire without warning, the desperate evacuation attempts, the final explosion as the habitat's core went critical. "This is why we're here," he reminded them. "This is why we've prepared." He turned to address the assembled leaders. "For 40 years, we have endured dismissal, negligence, and condescension from the Galactic Council. For 25 of those years, we have been preparing for the day when patience would no longer be an option." His voice carried throughout the room without shouting. "That day has come. 2,000 human lives were lost because our warnings about Draken aggression were ignored. We will not allow such a tragedy to happen again." He brought up images of 3 targets on the main display. "Operation Revelation begins in 24 hours, he announced. "Coordinates for all 3 phases have been transmitted to your secure channels." The room was absolutely silent as he continued. "Remember, this is not war. This is revision of terms. We will demonstrate our strength without causing unnecessary harm. We will show the galaxy that humanity is not to be underestimated, but we will do so with precision and restraint." He looked at the faces around him, determined, ready, committed. "Any questions?" When none came, he nodded sharply. "To your stations. The time for hiding our capabilities is over." As the commanders dispersed, Chen approached Alina. "Commander Reyes, permission to join the operation." "Granted," he replied. "You'll command the Draken demonstration. Your experience with the Proxima attack makes you uniquely qualified." Alina nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. In less than a day, humanity would reveal its true face to the galaxy, not with blind aggression, but with calculated demonstration. Not with revenge, but with a clear message. The Council had mistaken patience for weakness. They were about to discover just how wrong they had been. The demonstration. The HFS Reckoning materialized at the edge of the Draken home system, accompanied by 9 other warships, all products of humanity's secret shipyards. Commander Elena Reyes stood on the bridge, watching the Draken defense platforms grow larger on the main screen. A series of artificial moons orbited the Draken homeworld, each bristling with weapon emplacements. "Draken Defense Command is hailing us," reported Communications Officer Torres. "They're demanding our immediate withdrawal." "No response yet," Elena ordered. "Maintain position and activate passive scans." Scans indicate 27 defense platforms and 14 patrol vessels, announced Tactical Officer Raman. "They're mobilizing their fleet. Weapons systems charging." Elena nodded, feeling the weight of the moment. For years, the Draken had expanded their territory unchecked, bullying smaller species and dismissing human concerns. The attack on Proxima had been merely their latest transgression. "All ships report ready," Commander, said Executive Officer Cato from the tactical station. "Quantum shields at full capacity." "Draken vessels approaching," Raman reported. "They're launching fighters." 60 small attack craft swarmed toward the human fleet, their formation suggesting absolute confidence. After all, everyone knew human military technology was inferior, primitive compared to the ancient species of the galaxy. "Let them come," Elena said calmly. "Wait until they're in range of all 10 ships." The Draken fighters accelerated, weapons charging. They clearly expected the human ships to retreat or be easily overwhelmed. "They're in position," Raman announced. "Deploy gravity nets," Elena ordered. Invisible fields of concentrated gravity erupted from the human ships, precisely targeted. On the screen, the Draken vessels suddenly slowed, then stopped completely. They hung motionless in space, caught like insects in amber. "Gravity containment successful," Raman reported, surprise evident in his voice, despite his professional demeanor. "All Draken ships immobilized." Now Elena opened the communication channel. "This is Commander Elena Reyes of the Human Federation Ship Reckoning. Your vessels are currently held in our gravity containment field. They are unharmed, but they cannot move or fire weapons." She paused, letting the implications sink in. "We have disabled your ships without firing a single shot to demonstrate a simple truth. You have never known our true capabilities." The Draken Admiral's face appeared on screen, mandibles clicking in agitation. "This is an act of war, human. The Galactic Council will." "The Council," Elena interrupted, "has been summoned to witness demonstrations similar to this one across the galaxy. Your attack on our Proxima colony violated 17 separate treaties. There will be no more warnings." She signaled to Raman, who activated the ship's main systems. The Reckoning began to glow with blue energy as its true power signature was revealed for the first time. "Sensors detect multiple ships entering the system," Torres reported. "Galactic Council observation vessels. Perfect timing. The other demonstrations must be proceeding as planned." "Release the Draken vessels," Elena ordered. The gravity fields dissipated, leaving the alien ships drifting but operational. "But maintain defensive posture." She addressed the Draken Admiral again. "Return to your homeworld. A human diplomatic delegation will arrive within 6 hours to discuss reparations for Proxima. Be prepared to negotiate in good faith." The Admiral's mandibles clicked furiously, but he gave the order to withdraw. The Draken ships turned and retreated toward their planet. "Incoming transmission from Earth Command," Torres announced. "Admiral Chen requesting update." Elena nodded. "Put him through." Chen's face appeared on the screen, his expression expectant. "Report, Commander. Phase 1 complete. Admiral, the Draken fleet has been neutralized without casualties. Council observers have arrived. Chen nodded, satisfaction evident in his eyes. The Zenturi demonstration was equally successful. Their mining operation in the Perseus sector has been temporarily disabled, and the Volari merchant fleet attempting to violate our territory has been contained. Elena noticed additional screens activating around Chen, showing similar scenes playing out across the galaxy. Human ships revealing themselves near key alien installations. Carefully targeted demonstrations of power, each designed to send the same message. Humanity was not what they thought. The Council is convening an emergency session, Chen continued. Their diplomatic vessel will rendezvous with you in the Draken system. You will transport their representatives to Earth for the negotiations. Understood, Admiral. Well done, Commander. Chen out. 12 hours later, Elena stood in Earth's Grand Council chamber, a vast circular room built specifically for this moment. The transparent dome ceiling revealed the stars above, symbolizing humanity's place among them. Around a massive circular table sat representatives from all 37 member species of the Galactic Council, their expressions ranging from shock to outrage to grudging respect. Director Quan entered, accompanied by Admiral Chen and Earth's highest officials. The room fell silent as Quan took her place at the table. Representatives of the Galactic Council, she began without preamble. For 40 years, humanity has endured second-class status in this community. We have watched our warnings go unheeded, our territories violated, our people killed, all while being told we were too primitive, too inexperienced to warrant equal consideration. She activated a holographic display in the center of the table, showing the galaxy with human installations highlighted in blue. The display revealed hundreds of outposts, research stations, and monitoring facilities that had never appeared on official registries. What you believed about Earth's capabilities was what we allowed you to believe, she continued. While you dismissed us as technological infants, we built a fleet more advanced than any in the sector. While you restricted our territorial expansion, we established outposts throughout the galaxy. The alien representatives murmured among themselves, many checking data pads as if confirming her claims. Today we have demonstrated a fraction of our true capabilities, Quan said, not to threaten war, but to ensure peace, on equal terms. The Zenturi High Speaker rose, his translucent body pulsing with agitation. This deception violates the principles of the Council. You have concealed. We have concealed nothing that we were required to reveal, Chen interjected smoothly. Article 17 of the Council Charter requires members to disclose all weapons of mass destruction. We possess none. Article 23 requires disclosure of territorial claims. We have filed for every world we officially occupy. He leaned forward. Nowhere does the Charter require members to reveal the full extent of their defensive or technological capabilities. In fact, many of you at this table maintain your own secrets. The difference is that we had reason to keep ours. The Volari representative, a six-limbed insectoid, chittered angrily. You have shown aggression against council members. The Draken. Elena cut in, stepping forward, destroyed our colony and killed 2,000 civilians. An action the council was prepared to address with another meaningless investigation. Her voice was level but carried throughout the chamber. We disabled their vessels without a single casualty. Which action seems more aggressive to you? The chamber fell silent again. A new figure rose, the ancient Morrigan representative, whose species had helped found the council millennia ago. His voice was a rumbling bass that seemed to vibrate the air. I have observed humanity since their inclusion in this council, he stated. I have watched them absorb insult after insult, restriction after restriction, loss after loss, all while learning, adapting, and growing stronger. His multifaceted eyes surveyed the chamber. Any species that can show such patience while building such strength deserves respect, not condemnation. He turned to Quan. Humanity has made its point. What do you propose now? Quan activated a new display showing a revised charter. Equal representation on all council committees. Unrestricted access to the same trade routes available to founding members. joint security operations in disputed territories, and formal reparations for the Proxima colony. The demands were significant but not excessive, designed to establish equality, not superiority. The chamber erupted in debate. Arguments flew back and forth for hours, but the outcome was never really in doubt. Humanity had demonstrated its power and its restraint in equal measure. The Council could fight and risk war with a surprisingly formidable opponent, or it could adapt to a new reality. In the end, they adapted. 3 days later, Alina stood on the observation deck of Earth's orbital defense station Epsilon once more, watching the first joint human-Centauri patrol depart for the Perseus sector. Beside her, Admiral Chen surveyed the scene with satisfaction. "Do you think they'll ever truly accept us as equals?" Alina asked. Chen considered the question. "Some already have. Others never will. But they'll all respect us now. And that's enough to build on." Alina nodded, thinking of the 2,000 souls lost at Proxima. Was it worth the wait? All those years of playing weak while building our strength? "History will decide that," Chen replied. "But I believe so. We've achieved in 3 days what 40 years of conventional diplomacy couldn't deliver." He turned to her. "And we did it without starting a war." Beyond the viewport, Earth gleamed blue and green against the blackness of space, no longer the home of a fledgling species struggling to find its place among the stars, but the center of a power that had finally claimed its rightful seat at the galactic table. Humanity's patience had run out, and the galaxy would never be the same.